Okay, it's our weekend thing. How was Ed Balls? Your mate Ed.
Oh, me and Ed.
Like that? Like that, you and Ed?
Me and Ed. The times we had. It was a great 7 minutes, and I'd like to thank Ed and all his people. It was boss.
It was nice of them, Norwich, and you got the nice picture, and they seemed. Norwich is a lovely place. You've had a great weekend, haven't you?
That's a begin to cover it. We talk about Norwich as the great away trip in the Premier League these days, in lieu of Oxford, which we both fancy. But Norwich is a good one. But you set yourself up for a fall if you look forward to things too much. The kids, you'll find in life. But this one just delivered and delivered and delivered. Me and Ed, part of me thought Paxman face. You can't. He's a politician. You can't. But I thought, what a guy. He was very, very nice. He looked after us. Got us photos with me kids. It was really, really nice. And Norwich is such a boss town, and it's such a, do you know what's also the nicest spec you get in a stadium for an away? They sort of put you. Ed actually, I said this to Ed. He said, "That's what we charge a little more for away fans." He said to me off camera, "But we give you the best spec." I thought, that's one way of looking at it.
We'll always talk about that as a later date.
Yeah, park that one. But it was actually no, it is a great spec. You're sort of central. You're on the side. You're not behind the goal. You actually see the entire game.
Yeah,
you're not just behind in a pen. So. It's Johnny Gibbo in the background. He's not well.
Soldiering on.
Pray for John.
And then you had a lovely night in Norwich, because it's a great place to have a pint.
It is a great place to have a pint. And and we live to regret it. It was very, very good. There's a little more I can say at this
And you don't get enough 5-4s?
You do not get enough 5-4s. You don't get enough. You know what you don't get enough of is having a game snatched from you and then getting it back in life. Yeah. Probably, how many times has that happened in your life? I was thinking, I can't remember, was QPR one of those a year ago? I think it nearly was. When we won 3-2. I think we conceded again in the last minute and then scored. But that aside, I don't remember that happening. Maybe Arsenal in that Champions League game when Babel gets the penalty after they've scored. Yeah. But that was super late. That was 2 in the last 2 minutes of injury time. It was a slow motion, unreal moment. Even when you watch it back, the goal seems to be slow motion.
Yeah, well, it's the whole kicking it into the floor thing, but the keeper can't do anything about it. I think kicking it into the floor is one of the most underrated things in football. Have more shots where you kick it into the floor, because the goalkeeper's like, whoa, hey, it could go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's no pace on the ball by the time it comes off the floor. Everyone's it's just absolute death for them, seeing the defenders watching it going and nothing they could do about it.
Indeed. Well, it was absolutely fantastic. We're just all recovering from it still, even now. Manager's doing his press conference in a little while, so when you get the afternoon one of these, which you can get as an audio file, which comes out at sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock today, John Gibbons and Gareth Roberts will be going through what the manager's saying before the Stoke game. Stoke sort of looms on the horizon. Now the game's come thick and fast, and that is simply the next one.
Yeah, it's a big cuppy week, isn't it, now? It feels like a sort of double header, those two, which could really set us up for an interesting 2001 season if we get the results this week, or make us scratch our chins by next Monday going, are we really in the battle for fourth and we're in no cups? It could go. Yeah. It's a big week, this one, isn't it, quietly? And I'm hoping we can get a player in as well. That feels like another win we could have.
Well, the sharing news last night is that he seems pretty eager. He's doing he's liking everything he can on the Instagram and all that sort of stuff. It does feel like maybe one of the players got to push through in some way. Maybe there needs to be some unpleasantness here. It's something to remember next time we feel like this happens to us. Yeah. Frankly, but we might, we could maybe do with some unpleasantness conceivably.
Well, there's a bit of form apparently for this tactic. Fernandinho did it a little bit. Shakhtar were apparently very reluctant to let him go. The price was big, obviously, for him, but he social media'd it. And so, we're all I wrote a little piece about this on the website. We're quick to scoff at this kind of behaviour, but it's the new way of doing it, quite frankly. How else are you going to do it? Short of, and you can also slightly get your way out of it. It's not like going to the papers, fancy playing for Liverpool, hate my old club. You can do it. I just liked it. It gives them it is a come and get me plea.
So, do you think it's going to happen? You're a veteran of many a transfer.
Yeah, and I veer towards the positive on it, but I don't want to set myself up for the fall. That's what we speculated on earlier. I do think so. I think there's just about enough time to get this done. The prices don't seem. I know there's a big price on his head, but they don't seem miles apart. The wage deal isn't that bad. where there's a will, there's a way, and I think he'll just about get there.
It's likely to be the end of the window. I think this is the interesting one with this one is how quickly we moved for Kolka, because we wanted to sort of have the fallback of solving the problem. Not that the lad's even has a game for Liverpool yet at centre half, and he can't against Stoke. But what we felt we needed that extra body, and we moved quite quickly there. But we haven't sort of on this one. You feel as though the club might be of the attitude that if it takes till the 31st, it maybe takes till the 31st. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think. I mean, Kolka. I think there was a genuine emergency. It was a combination of a genuine emergency and it being doable. You can't rush a 38 million pound transfer or whatever it is. You can't force it. I suppose Firmino becoming a striker in a week helps.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that on the Anfield Wrap main show. The other thing that we will talk about on the Anfield Wrap main show, but I actually do want to touch on with you, even though it's not a very fashionable one, is in the context of Kolo Touré. It's a little mini renaissance to a certain extent in that, at the minute he looks Liverpool, he looks more secure than Sacco.
Yeah.
It's Martin Fitzgerald was very big on the Pink Show about how it's him who goes and gets the ball at the back of the net at 3-1 and says, "You're still in this, lads. Let's all pull together." It's quite interesting because he's a footballer who I'd sort of certainly written off again as a two game a week merchant, and yet he's going to have to do that against Stoke as well. You'd have thought, and this always sets you up before a fall, this sort of thing. But he's playing well.
Yeah, it's the nature of the good veteran footballer. And people, I'm surprised that we're endlessly surprised by the fact that they actually are very good and they can have very good games. The problem is if you then go, they're now a solution. Yeah. It's like with Gerrard in his last 2 years. Even last year, when people begin to think he was seriously waning, you could have 2 or 3 games. You go, Jesus Christ, what's life going to be like without him? He's still that good. Over 10 games, you go, we can't. And you ride your luck a little bit.
Well, I was going to say the worry is therefore that we're never far away from the 10th game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It could be the Stoke game where Touré suddenly, I said in the first leg, he had sort of an 8 out of 10 game in the first leg. It wouldn't have took much for that to become a 3. And because that's the ragged edge he's playing on. And if it goes badly wrong, then suddenly we could all be going, what are you going to do about this?
Yeah, the key is to have options. So you go, get him out quickly, and that's the thing. And hopefully that's Kolka's job.
But he can't
play. Coming back.
Well, yeah, but Kolo can't play against Stoke. Okay, so there'll be more from the press conference later on in our audio roundup. That'll come out about 5 o'clock. 3 shows coming out today for you. So there's the Anfield Wrap main show that'll be coming out. Tuesday review, we're pulling that out a day early because obviously there's to give time to listen to it before the Stoke game. And we're going to get the coach home out as well because we're hopefully going to have guests from Stoke, Manchester City and Everton all talking about their respective teams before these midweek games. And that means that tomorrow it's part 2 of what we call History 87-88. Part 1 was magic. So that's all your Anfield Wrap news. There's more Anfield Wrap news than Liverpool news, but there won't be once the press conference is finished. See you in a bit.